This video is on tone, style, mood, point of view, compare and contrast, text connections. Tone. A challenging but essential task for the reader is to determine the author's attitude, which is related to the author's tone. The reader must determine this aspect of a passage by analyzing the author's perspective and point of view, how the author thinks and feels about a particular subject. Tone must be inferred through the use of descriptive words. Tone examples. I'd rather stay here and wait than go into that dark room. The sentence above suggests that the person is scared. The sun is shining brightly in the meadow. Let's go out and play. The sentence above suggests that the person is happy or excited. I called my friend at her house. Her brother said she's not home, but I heard her voice come over the line. The sentence above suggests that the person is suspicious. Which words or phrases give away the tone? Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed, and it's no big surprise. Don't you think I know exactly where I stand? This world is forcing me to hold your hand, 'cause I'm just a girl, little old me. Don't let me out of your sight. I'm just a girl, all pretty and petite, so don't let me have any rights. Oh, I've had it up to here. The moment that I step outside, so many reasons for me to run and hide. I can't do the little things I hold so dear, 'cause it's all those little things that I fear. 'Cause I'm just a girl, I'd rather not be. 'Cause they won't let me drive late at night, I'm just a girl. 'Cause I'm some kind of freak, 'cause they all sit and stare with their eyes. I'm just a girl, take a good look at me, just your typical prototype. Oh, I've had it up to here. Oh, am I making myself clear? I'm just a girl in the world. That's all that you'll let me be. I'm just a girl living in captivity. Your rule of thumb makes me worrisome. I'm just a girl, what's my destiny? What I've succumbed to is making me numb. I'm just a girl, my apologies. What I've become is so burdensome. I'm just a girl, lucky me. Twiddle-dum, there's no comparison. Oh, I've had it up to. Oh, I've had it up to. Oh, I've had it up to here. Did you get it? The tone of this song, or these lyrics, is sarcasm. Check out the music video for this song, I'm Just a Girl by No Doubt. How do the singer's non-verbal cues, her body language, help you to better understand the tone? Style. Every author has his or her own style. That is, each author uses literary devices, tone and mood in a particular way that makes his or her writing recognizable. When you read several books by the same author, you become accustomed to the author's style of writing, and sometimes you look for authors with a similar style. Think, what authors do you like to read? Even TV shows and movies have writers. Style. When analyzing style, you must look at a piece of writing from the overall structure of the text to the small details and word choices. Be an editor, a critic, to answer the question, how would I describe this author's writing style? Examples of writing styles: descriptive, thoroughly developed, academic, formal, informal or conversational, professional, businesslike, or personal. Here's an example of style. This excerpt is edited from 11 Things You Should Know Before Planning Your Next Trip to the Zoo by Renee Jacquez. As prominent fixtures of American life, zoos are also serious targets of criticism and speculation due to the perceived moral and ethical dilemmas of keeping animals in cages or enclosures under the care of humans. Granted, sometimes zoos actually save animals' lives and help turn around the health of an endangered species. But for all the good, there are still plenty of questionable things that happen at zoos. So before planning a trip to see the newest exhibit at a zoo near you, here are 3 things you need to know. 1. The habitats most zoo animals are housed in barely resemble their natural environments. 2. Animals are often moved around different zoos, which disrupts their pack units. 3. Some zoos don't have the resources to properly take care of their animals. How would you describe the author's style in this passage? A. Personal. B. Formal. C. Objective, or D. Descriptive. Did you get it? B. Formal. The author has an obvious opinion about zoos, so the style cannot be objective, which means without bias or feelings. But the writing style doesn't reflect a personal experience either. The author does not appeal to the reader's senses, so it cannot be considered descriptive. The author does provide a solid argument and uses facts to support her opinion, which is stated in an academic or formal way. Here's another example. This excerpt is from the Introduction to Betty and Friends by Betty White. For openers, let me say that I realize there are those whose minds are irrevocably set against the entire concept of zoos, and consequently see only negatives. They have every right to their opinion, and I respect it. As for me, however, I am a confined zoophile, and I particularly appreciate the positive changes that have taken place in the whole zoo community over the past few decades, and the critical role they play today in perpetuating endangered species. How would you describe the author's style in this passage? A. Personal, B. Formal, C. Objective, D. Descriptive. Did you get it? A. Personal. The author has an obvious opinion about zoos, so the style cannot be objective, without bias or feeling. The author does not appeal to the reader's senses, so it cannot be considered descriptive. The author does not use the strict academic style of writing either. Instead, the writing is very personal, almost conversational. Mood. The atmosphere of a work of literature. Mood is how the reader feels, the emotions that result from a reader's understanding. It is the emotional situation a work of literature creates for a reader. Mood can be developed through tone, theme, setting, diction, and style. When you think of tone, think of the author's attitude. When you think of mood, think of the reader's feelings. Mood can usually be expressed in one word: happy, scared, confused, obnoxious, excited, or even grumpy. What is the mood of this passage? Gently smiling, the mother tenderly tucked the covers up around the child's neck and carefully, quietly left the room, making sure to leave a comforting ray of light shining through the open door should the child wake. The image of the loving mother caring for her child gives the reader feelings of contentment, perhaps nostalgia, happiness, and comfort. Point of view. The point from which a story is told. First-person point of view. A character within the story recounts his or her own experiences or impressions, lets the reader know only what that character knows, uses the pronouns I and we. Second-person point of view. The story is told from the perspective of you. It's an uncommon form of writing, sometimes used in poetry and interactive fiction. Uses the pronoun you. Third-person objective, point of view. The narrator remains a detached observer, telling only the story's actions and dialogue. It lets the reader know only what is seen and heard, not what characters think and feel. Uses the pronouns he, she, it, and they. Third-person limited, point of view. The narrator tells the story from the viewpoint of one character in the story, lets the reader know what one character thinks, sees, knows, hears, and feels. Uses the pronouns he, she, it, and they. Third-person omniscient, point of view. The narrator has unlimited knowledge and can describe every character's thoughts and interpret their behaviors. A godlike narrator. Lets the reader know unlimited information about the characters. Uses the pronouns he, she, it, and they. Name that point of view. Oscar loves the Minions so much that he decided to change his name to Kevin. He wondered if he could get a part in the next movie. Name that point of view. You are not the kind of guy who would be at a place like this at this time of the morning, but here you are, and you cannot say that the terrain is entirely unfamiliar, although the details are fuzzy. You are at a nightclub talking to a girl with a shaved head. The club is either Heartbreak or the Lizard Lounge. Name that point of view. Kevin talked to Sharon about Felicia's new job. Sharon wondered if Felicia knew that he was talking about her. Name that point of view. Scooby-Doo sat down to eat his Scooby snacks before the team left for their adventure. He did not share his Scooby snacks with Shaggy. Boy, I love my Scooby snacks, said Scooby. Name that point of view. I hope they're not leaving. Whenever they leave to go somewhere, I'm always stuck with the neighbor boy. He thinks I'm a stuffed animal. Point of view. First person. Oh no, my dog is going to eat my cupcake. Second person. You see the dog staring at a cupcake sitting on the table. Third person. She worried when she saw the dog heading for the cupcake. Text connections. Interpreting and analyzing works from a variety of genres for literary, historical, and or cultural significance. Interpreting and analyzing works through a variety of critical lenses. Text to self, text to world, text to text. Text to self connections. A connection between a book and your life experience. If you're reading I Am Malala, you might be able to connect that to a personal experience where maybe you had a challenge that you had to overcome, or an injury that you had to overcome. Text to world connections, a connection between a book and events in the real world. If you're still reading I Am Malala, maybe you connect that with the Boston bombing survivor's story, a real event or situation that has happened or is happening in the world. Text-to-text connections, a connection between a book and another book or text. If you're still reading I Am Malala, you might make the connection between another text, TV show, movie, song, art, video game, etc. For example, the 9/11 trilogy, short stories. Compare and contrast, another way to connect text. Looking at objects and thinking about how they are alike, compare, and different, contrast. If you look at the images here, you can compare them. They are all edible. You can buy them at the local market. They come in many varieties. You can contrast them. They belong to different food groups. Some of them need to be cooked. Some of them are harvested. It might help to use the Venn diagram whenever you're looking for similarities and differences. Compare and contrast information from two nonfiction texts using this device to visualize similarities and differences, main idea, point of view, author's purpose, etc. A lot of clue words can help you understand if you're comparing or contrasting. Compare and contrast Batman and Superman. What'd you come up with? When you think of Batman, he's rich, he's a vigilante, he has a sidekick, he has a cool car, he lives in Gotham City. When you think about Superman, he's a reporter, he's an alien, he has superpowers, he has a weakness to kryptonite, he lives in Metropolis. These are things that are different between the two characters. In the middle section, we can talk about the similarities. They both wear capes, they both have secret identities, they both fight crime or evil, they both have movies and television shows, they both come from comics. Let's review. Mood is how the reader feels. Tone is the author's attitude. Point of view. First person, it's told from the perspective of I. Second person, told from the perspective of you. Third person, told from an outsider's perspective. Author's style is the way he or she uses words to make ideas come alive on the page. Author style techniques include word choice, dialogue, tone, mood, and sensory language. Compare and contrast, text connections. It can be helpful to use the Venn diagram whenever you have to compare and contrast text. Put all of the information about text A on one side, all of the information about text B on the other side, and in the overlapping section, that's what they both have in common. It's quiz time. Get back to class. Bring any questions that you have with you.